In today's video, we are checking out one of the most insane superhero mods available, with the journey to become Minecraft's very own Dark Knight, aka Batman, with its own training and fighting styles, stealth mechanics, an absolute ton of different gadgets to use, and of course, vehicles. So let's just jump straight into it. So you might have guessed that there aren't too many Batman mods when it comes to Minecraft, but the mod that I'm going to be showing you today honestly takes the idea of a Batman mod and seriously takes it to the next level. Like, I mean, this literally turns Minecraft into an Arkham game. But before we check out any of this really cool stuff, just like Batman, we need to go to the very beginning, which basically means roaming a cold biome just like this one and coming across this structure right here, the Temple of the League of Shadows. And as you get closer to this, you will be able to see that we do actually have some guys out the front here, and these guys right here are basically assassins. And once you're at the temple, you do want to interact with Ra's al Ghul right here, and he'll actually say, "You dare approach the demon's head, state your purpose, or die." And there he is right there. And right here, we only have one option, which is I seek the means to fight injustice. So if we click that, there we go. He says, "There is a rare blue flower that grows in these mountains. Bring me one of them, and we can begin your training." So just like it said, you're going to have to try and find one of these poppies. There's one right there, and there's one right here as well. And now they are pretty small, so you might miss a couple of these, but since it's a snow biome, basically just look for these patches, and you're pretty much guaranteed to find one every time. So then you just come back to the temple right here, find Ra's al Ghul, give him the flower, click the same thing, and then boom. And just like that, the training to become Batman has started. Here we go. You know how to fight 6 men? We can teach you to engage 600. And here we go, teach me right here. Or you could click, nah, get me out of here if for some reason you don't want to become Batman. So then if I actually go into survival mode right here, we will have a couple of the assassins try and kill us, whilst also rocking the League of Shadow Assassins uniform right here. And as you can tell, once again, it does not line up with my skin, but either way. So if I go into survival mode right here and actually initiate combat, so let me use that move right there, shift and then jump, and then you'll do like a backward flip right there. And then you basically just need to start defeating these assassins right here. And you might have already realized that the combat is actually super sick. You get all these sick animations. There's one down. And I will say that this training is actually pretty difficult. So make sure that you have some food on you because this is going to get very, very intense very quickly. There we go. Your training is almost complete. Now you must test your skills against me. And this is where we actually have to fight Ra's al Ghul himself. And if you know the character, you know that this guy does not mess around. This almost acts as like a mini boss towards like the rest of the mod. It's really sick. And he is going to start spawning some of his assassins right here just for the extra difficulty. These guys do a hell of a lot of damage when there's a lot of them. All right, now can we fight this dude? There we go. And we even get to keep the assassin's uniform and the katana as well, so it's definitely not a bad trade-off. And so after you've completed fighting the League of Shadows, this is basically where you can actually become Batman. And at first, you're probably going to end up going with this suit right here, which is the prototype one, and then eventually upgrading to this full Batman suit right here, which looks so sick. I mean, just look at that emblem right there. I mean, that tells you all you need to know. And it's when you build your Batcave like this one right here that we can actually build a Bat computer, which if we right-click, enter that right there, we've got this whole menu right here where we can even do some virtual training. You can do some detective work by inserting different vials and stuff like that. You can call Alfred. There he is. And when you right click him, he'll say, "How can I help?" You can say, "I'm hurt, I'm hungry, fix my suit," or "Fix this stuff," and put the stuff that needs fixing in these 3 slots right here. And by far, one of the coolest things you can do on the Bat computer is actually select which vehicle you want. And let me just say that those vehicles are definitely not for show, and they are probably one of my favorite features of this whole mod. As I just start breaking the Batcave. Okay, let's fix that. And as this mod is absolutely massive when it comes to all the different suits and stuff like that, we are just going to check out the main one right here. So if we right click the stand, there you go, we've got the door opening and we can actually start accessing all the gear right here. So if we throw the suit on right here, you'll be able to see that it has so much armor. We get armor toughness, knockback resistance. But as you can imagine, this suit looks absolutely awesome. And yep, those are my eyes right there, so it doesn't actually fit too well on my skin. But I mean, just look at this suit right here. Like the gauntlets are like 3D right there. The cape looks really cool. And you've even got like 3D bat ears as well. Like, look at that. So if we actually head out of the Batcave real quick, which should definitely be a lot more hidden than what I built right here. But as we are Batman right now, we are definitely not walking into the city, which is where if I press X right here, you'll see we get the utility belt UI coming up. And all of these individual pockets right here basically correlate to a different gadget, which pretty much come as a default when you actually equip this suit. So let's have a look here. Let's press this one right here. Call in Batmobile. And we even got the best friends advancement, but look at this right here. I mean, just look at this model right here. Like the tumbler has never looked so cool in Minecraft, I swear. You got like the super chunky wheels on the front, all the armor paneling, all the little detail, the giant wheels on the back, even like the booster right there. And you might have already seen that when we do actually get close to it, the roof does open up. We've got like a steering wheel, we've got like the gear shifter and everything like that. And this thing overall just looks so good as a model, like damn. And on the inside, it is a little bit difficult to see where you're going, but we can use this view right here and just listen to this thing. This thing is insane. I mean, tell me how this isn't one of the coolest things you've ever seen in Minecraft. Like, damn. So if we head over the bridge right here, let's have a look at this. I mean, the sound effects for this alone is definitely one of my favorite things in this mod. So here we go. We've got a nice flat road. Like, look at that speed. Like, yeah, it's probably not the best idea to drive this in first person because it is just insanely difficult to see. I don't know how Batman does it. And whilst we're in the tumbler as well, we also get the ability to shoot rockets just like that. But yeah, you would really not want to get chased down with this thing. So now that we're in the city, we can actually turn on the bat signal, which is a whole new block right there. It's got a really cool sound effect when you turn it on and off. And of course, it does in fact portray the bat signal right there in the sky, which is so sick. Even with shaders, it still looks really, really good. So some of the passive abilities we get as Batman is obviously we can glide right here, similar to the Elytra, and just feels insanely smooth when you're using it. Another passive ability is that if we actually start gliding and hold space, we'll actually do like a flight kick right there, and we'll actually start fighting them just like we see in the Arkham games. You can dive bomb and also do some insane damage right here. Even do like a kinetic blast like that, holding that pose, which as far as I know leaves them pretty much stunned, so that's when you can actually start doing some proper fighting. And you know, instead of taking on 6, take on 600, just like Ra's al Ghul said at the beginning. You can even go into a glide kick right here, smash through the glass, and then you're ready to fight them like that. I mean, like, the one thing I love about this mod is the fact that you can play it literally as an Arkham game. I know I've said that a couple of times now, but like, seriously, like, you really can. If you wanted to take a stealth approach, you could do it that way. If you wanted to go in loud with all the gadgets, you can. But just like those passive abilities with this suit that I showed you, like, the possibilities are really endless with this one. So let me show you some of the gadgets right here. So first up, we do have a classic Batarang. We get 6 of them right here, as you can see when we throw them at the floor. They are actually Batarangs right there with the shape and everything. And as expected, you can just lob these at the enemies right here. And the velocity on these are actually insanely quick, and they can also smash glass as well. We also get another variant, which is the electric Batarangs right here. And what makes these different is that we can actually throw these at anything redstone related. And as you can see there, is basically going to short circuit and basically open the door for a short amount of time right there to get through. As well as, you know, doing the classic and electrocuting pretty much anybody that they come into contact with. And just like when we were fighting the League of Shadows, we also get a smoke bomb right here. So in true Batman fashion, you can make a quick getaway. The next gadget we get is this little slot right here next to the middle one. And these are sample vials. And this little piece of equipment right here is basically used for detective mode, meaning if we actually press Z, yeah, we actually get detective mode. I mean, look at this. It even tells you like how much health they're on, the distance. This guy's got a knife and it says right there, armed with a pocket knife. We've got this guy over here with a crowbar. But if we actually hold that down, we do go into forensic mode right here. And we get all these little markers basically telling us where the enemies are going. You see there the trails following this guy. So if you wanted to play the stealth game and like track somebody from a distance, this would definitely help you out. So if we go back into forensic mode, you will be able to see that there is actually blood right here, which is probably from when I bataranged one of the robbers earlier, which we can actually scoop up with the vial right here. We can just call it robber, and there we go. Now we've actually got a little vial with blood that we can analyze all the way back at the Batcave. So you can actually become a detective with this. Like, every feature in this mod so far has just blown me away. The next gadget we get here is like a giant distraction. If we press that one in the middle, there we go. We're going to get all these bats basically pop up all around us, do damage to everybody nearby. And it is a little bit laggy when these guys spawn in, but yeah, we had a room full of robbers and now I think we literally only have 2 left. The next gadget we get right here is a sonic pellet, which if we crouch and right click, we can actually change the sounds of all different things right here. So we could have like a cat, a zombie, a villager, a blast, TNT. And the best way that I could probably demonstrate this is if we spawn in a bunch of zombies right there, change this until it says villager. He's actually going to be lured by the fake sound of the villager, as well as getting completely disorientated when he gets close enough. And this works the same way as if we have an iron golem right here. So if we go ahead and change this to zombie right here, throw it right there in the center of the room, he's going to go to it and eventually get blasted, and you can see how slow he is after that as well. So again, just a really cool gadget to sort of like discombobulate your enemies, or, you know, confuse a bunch of people if you're playing this with friends. The next gadget on our belt right here is a bat bomb, which we can place on blocks just like that. Right click them to arm them. And of course, that is going to destroy a bunch of stuff. But our next gadget can actually work in unison with the bat bombs right here. So let's say if I want to plant one, we'll plant a couple on the roof right there, bring out the cryptographic sequencer, and then we shift right click, go onto hack right here, make sure we're looking at the bombs, give that a right click, and there you go. So they can actually be triggered remotely just like that. For the next gadget on our belt, we get the classic grappling gun right here, which is just as simple as right clicking. And there you go. You're going to be able to grapple all your way around the city. And I'm pretty sure you can even do like a little takeoff from this as well. Yep, you can. And pretty much just keep boosting yourself around the city just like this. So now that we're back in the Batcave, and I definitely should have made this 1 block taller or 2 blocks taller because the tumbler looks a little bit squished in here, but I'm sure Alfred over there will take care of it nonetheless. So since we're back at the Batcave right here, this is where you can actually change all the different weapons that you want in these different pockets. And we even get the option to have Robin's weapons in here as well. So instead of a Batarang, we get a Birdarang right here, which pretty much works the same way. And just the attention to detail with like little things like this, like having the R logo and everything. Like they didn't go easy on the details. Like every single detail here is just so spot on. Like it's insane. And you don't just get Robin's weapons as well, because you do actually have the full suit right here, as well as the Nightwing suit as well right here, which looks just as sick. And even the Batman Beyond suit right here, which is one of my all-time favorites. So you can really start to tell that this isn't just like a classic hero pack video or anything like that. Like there is so much in this. And I've already been recording for like an hour and I feel like I've barely scratched the surface. And look at this right here. This is definitely the Arkham Batmobile. Look at this thing. And then finally, we also have the original Batmobile as well, which as you can see is a little bit of a downgrade compared to the other two, but it is pretty classic nonetheless. It looks like the one out of the animated series. That's what it reminds me of. So now that we've taken a look at basically 1% of this mod as Batman, let me show you some of the villains that you'll be fighting. So obviously we've got the classic robbers that we've seen time and time again throughout the video. They're just going to have like crowbars like this or like small knives. We of course have the League Assassins right here that again we saw right at the beginning when we were doing our training. Followed of course by Ra's al Ghul holding his hands behind his back there looking like an absolute boss. And I hope to never fight this guy ever again. We have the Joker thugs right here with like the clown mask on, got the green hair. The classic like Arkham sort of like overalls right there. And following on from those guys, we also have the Joker right here, which as you can see is a little bit of a boss. But as you've probably heard already, he does do the voice lines from Arkham.
To make this place a little less boring.
There you go. Killer Croc as well, which I would absolutely hate to face. I remember the missions in the game where he starts like headbutting all the pallets that you're running across, and I absolutely hated it. So yeah, I would definitely not be going anywhere near this dude. We also get Mr. Freeze right here with a glowing suit. This is probably one of my favorite skins and like models of all the bosses right here. He looks so sick. And just as you'd expect right here, he can actually freeze you if you start fighting him. And you can see us shaking right there as well. So if you're fighting this guy, definitely do it in an open space because getting frozen like that over and over again is definitely going to be difficult to take on. And then finally, we also have Scarecrow right here. Now, I'm pretty sure that this guy actually has a really, really cool attack. There we go, right there. Look at this. We are now in Scarecrow's dimension. And since it is a nightmare, you are going to get creatures like these following you everywhere trying to fight you, as well as gravestones right here just to remind you what happened to your parents, which is actually pretty on par when it comes to Scarecrow. Like, he does not care about anything. So like I said, I've pretty much just shown you like 1% of what's possible in this mod. There is so much to cover that it would have to be like multiple videos. So if you do want me to do a follow-up video to this showing you guys the other suits or maybe even future updates, do let me know in the comments. And if you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like or even consider subscribing. But as always, I will see you guys in the next one.
Bye.